So head. Head. Hey, head in the game. Aight, I'll stop. Trust though, it ain't that complicated. Okay, it's a little complicated, but we don't got that mindset here. Everything is accomplishable if you try. And you're here, which means you're trying. Good job, kid. I know you have a praise kink, you little First things first, go to Pinterest, look up head references or facial expressions, and choose whatever the fuck you want. Maybe choose a few that make you a little bit uncomfortable. You don't have to if you don't want to, but that automatically makes you a pussy. So let's just jump straight into it. That's what she said. This is called the Asaro head. There is a 3D version of this where you can turn it around, change it, see, look at it at different angles, yada yada yada. It's online. Just search up the Asaro head. You will find this if you want this reference. So you want to start by breaking down the shape of the head, and usually that's a circle. So we're gonna draw a circle over here. Okay, cool. Now we got a circle. It doesn't have to be perfect. Do not be married to your guidelines. Just fucking make a circle. Do not think of it needs to be perfect, it needs to be amazing. No, it's just a fucking line. Have it click in your brain that this is going to be the cranium of the head. Do not attach any more value than that to it. This is the circle I'm going to be working with. As you can see, it's not a perfect circle. We don't need to care about that. How do we find the middle of the face? Straight down the middle of the circle. Boom. Now we found the middle of the face. Once again, it's not perfect. It doesn't need to be. Don't worry if you overshoot the chin. As you can see, I did over here. It doesn't matter. As long as you have a straight line, that just tells you the middle of the face. Once you have that, I like to mark the brow line. I usually find that at the middle of the circle. So as you can see here, boom. Now you found your brow line. There. Now we have a brow line. Next, I think it's a good idea to find the jaw. So when I'm looking for the jaw, usually I'll go in from where we found the brow line, come down a little bit and come in, and then somewhere around here, it doesn't really matter where. I feel like this is where you can play around and be like, okay, I want a character with a really long face, I want a character with a really short chin. It's up to you. You just fuck around with that and see where it feels right to you. If you want to match your reference, use your reference as a reference. That's what it's for. Duh. Boom. There we go. Now we have the chin. Is it perfect? No. Is it going to be symmetrical? Fuck no. How do we find that out? We just go to image, go to image rotation, and we rotate it horizontally. As you can see, this middle part was skewed. Does it matter? Fuck no, because now we can fix it. Okay, that looks a bit more straight to me, and we're going to work with that. Now that we have the jaw, what I like to do is I like to find the level of the cheekbones. So in this case, it's over here. Usually the cheekbones will be at the bottom of the circle if you want to do that, but I don't really like doing that, so I'm going to just say the cheekbones are around here. Same with on this part. Now, why do we need to know where the cheekbones are? Because now we know where this curve is, and that's going to be the curve where your eye sockets are going to dent in a little bit. I'm just going to mark those. So now that we have that, let's do the eyes. So for the eyes, it's just a circle covered by skin. That is all it is. So I'm just gonna put two big giant fucking circles over here, and now it's fine. As for the nose, I like to look for the nose in between the eyes, which is obvious, and I like to just make a triangular shape, kinda like that. Now that we have this diamond shape, I like to make a little circle in the middle between these two ends, like right there. So now that's where the tip of the nose will be. So now that we have that, let's go with the ears. So the ears will start at the middle of the eyes. So wherever your eyes are, find the middle. That's where you start your ears. And that looks pretty good to me. Now let's find the mouth. So you see this tiny little circle thingy above your fucking lip and like at the bottom of your nose. I don't know what the fuck it's called. Use that as a marker for where your lips will start. So once I have that, I know where I can place my mouth. Pause, and boom, we have a mouth. And that is basically the basic construction of the head. If you want to add a neck, just bring the middle line down. For female necks, they'll be a bit thinner. For male necks, we make them a bit thicker because they're thick boys. Boom, now we have a neck. That is it. That is how you draw a head. And from here on out, you're just detailing, because this is just construction. That is all it is. That's why you don't need to give a fuck about your guidelines. Just make sure they're accurate enough for you to understand them. That's all. Now all I'm going to do is I'm going to make a new layer. I'm going to lower the saturation of this one. I'm going to give you a bit of tips for detailing the face. So when I like to start with the nose. Here I'll have the kind of ridge shape for the brow and the nose. So it's more of like a square shape. I like to focus on that part because that's the more pronounced part. So I'm just going to come down here, add these. Don't add too heavy if you don't want to. So I like to add those. And for the nose, I like to just add some holes to them. Pause. And now I have a basic idea for the way I'm going to put the nose shapes. As you can see on this Asaro head, they have a side plane. I don't exemplify it that much, and I just make it a bit more simpler by bringing it out a little bit and then coming under the nose. Now this looks a bit thick, but it's because it's not shaded. So I'm just going to add a little bit of shade underneath. Boom, that's the nose done. Now as you can see over here on our reference, we have a bit of a brow line or like a brow ridge. So that'll start somewhere around here, go up above your eyes slightly. I don't like to over exemplify it, so this is enough for me. Then just add some detail to exaggerate some form. Now I like to go with the eyes. So the eyes, massive tip, instead of suffering from the same eye syndrome where you draw one eye, it's really good, and then you try to match on the other side and you just can't, just draw both of them at the same time. So I like to mark the eyes, kinda 45-degree angle this way, very short, top of the eye, curve off, and I like to add a little bit of a tear duct over there. Then do the same thing on the side, 45 up, cap it off, end it there, not perfect, don't care, a little bit of a tear duct, and then we just cap it off at the bottom. So one line going that way, boom, now we have our eyes. Simple. Are they perfectly symmetrical? No. If it bothers you that much, just fucking do this, bruv. And if you're working traditional, do it the hard way, bruv. From here out, I like to add the brows because he looks kinda dead. Now, the brows heavily change the expression of the face. So if I just draw kind of brows doing that, boom, now he's angry. Boom, now he's sad. Boom, now he doesn't give a fuck about you or anybody else. So I don't know how to draw eyebrows that well. I'm still working on it. You can do whatever the fuck you want over here. Get creative. It's completely up to you. Then I like to add some folds in the eyes to accentuate the form. It doesn't need to be a lot, because again, it's just like meat wrapping around the eyeball. When you think of an eyeball, I like to think of a sphere. If you just think, okay, how do I wrap this part specifically, this will give you a general idea of how to do it. I like to do the same and add a little bit of folds at the bottom of the eyes, and boom, now we have eyes. But he's still kind of dead, so we're gonna give him irises. And there we go. Now he's definitely seen some shit. Now we're gonna add the lips. This was a good marker because this shows you where the top of the lips start. So we're first gonna draw the mouth, and then I like to just add a little bit of that, and then kinda just hint at some form at the bottom lip. You can add an upper lip. I tend to do this only for female characters because it makes them look more feminine. And if you want to know what it is, this little fucking circle thingy above your lip, that's gonna be a great guideline. And now we're just gonna add the details of the face. And boom, that's basically a human head. If you remove the guidelines, what the fuck? If you remove the guidelines, that's basically it. And if you want to add more, like the hair, mark the brow line or the hairline. Comes down a bit, goes there, yada yada. And now you have a hairline. So now you can give him waves or some shit. I don't know, do whatever the fuck you want. It's your art. And that is how you draw a face. Do not ask me how to do the hair. I don't fucking know how I do the hair. I just fuck around and find out. Now we're gonna do the exact same thing again, only in side view. So again, start with your circle. That is my circle. It's not perfect and I still do not care. That is my other circle that is even less perfect and it's still fucking fine. Now we're gonna find the front of the face, which is over here. Do the same thing on this side. Now we're gonna find the brow line again, which is over here. Again, middle of the circle. Same thing over here. Now to find the ear, it's just kind of similar to how we found the front of the face. It's down the middle of the circle and your ear rests somewhere around here. So your ear is going to be somewhere there, but I'm not adding it yet because I want to find the eyes first. So once we're here, I like to find the cheekbones again, which is somewhere over here. Now we know where the eyes are going to sit and we know where it's going to make this curve where the eyes cave in. So we're gonna know that the eye is somewhere around here and we can add whatever you want next. Now let's do the jaw. Where your ears start is where the side of your jaw is gonna start. You're just gonna do that and boom, now we have a side view. Same thing over here. Hey, easy side view. Now let's find the nose. So we made this part so we know where the eyes stay. So it's around there, which we marked over here. The brow line is gonna give you an idea of where to place the brow, just like that, and it goes in a little bit. And how we made the diamond before for the nose previously, we're gonna do half a diamond here and we're just gonna make a circle somewhere around where the tip of the nose is gonna be. And boom, now we know from the brow line, just bring it down and we have a nose shape. Let's do the same over here. Do whatever the fuck you want and boom. Now we have nose. Easy as that, bro. Now for the lips. Again, this weird fucking circle thingy over here, whatever this thing is called, good indicator for where your lip should start. And since it starts over there, I'm gonna place the mouth somewhere here. Would you look at that? We have lips. If you don't want to add a chin, you don't need to, but I'm just gonna add a little bit of a protruding chin right there. And boom, that's basically the side view. Now we can add the ear, because as I said before, the ear usually starts in the middle of where the eyes would start, so it would usually start somewhere around here. Boom, look at this fucking side view. If you want to add a neck, just add a line, add a big ass fucking cylinder around here. Think of it in 3D, people. Boom, now we have a neck. And we can add a body, yada yada yada, do whatever the fuck you want. You see, it's just you finding out where to place the shit. Does it look good? Fuck no. Do you know where to put stuff? Yes. Do you not know what it looks like or where to place it? fuck around and find out, bruv, or just go find a reference. That's exactly why these things exist. So now we have the guidelines for the side view of the face. Now all we gotta do, as ugly as this shit is just draw over it and make it look pretty. Also, side note, you shouldn't draw eyes from the side view like how you draw eyes from the front view, because it's gonna end up looking weird, as you can see, because it doesn't follow the perspective. So what you want to do is just think of the eye kind of like, I forgot the name of this, I forgot, kind of like this fucking triangle, okay? And when it comes to pupils, don't just draw a circle in the side view and just add it there, because that looks kind of weird. Circular shape is going to turn into an ovular shape, and that's how it works. When I'm drawing eyes from the side view, I just like to go a little 45 degree up, not even 45 degrees, basically just a straight line and a straight line back, boom and boom, and then just oval. Boom, now we have eyes in the side view. Add your little folds. Again, think of the eyeball as just wrapping meat around a sphere, and that should be good. Also, you don't need to worry too much about where you place your guidelines and, oh, I gotta trace my guidelines completely correct. We didn't give a fuck about the guidelines, therefore we can fix whatever will look bad in the guidelines here without even caring about it. Like, as you can see, I drew the ear a bit more like this in the guideline, but I'm fixing it up, making it look better how I want it to look here when I'm redrawing over the guidelines. The hairline from the side view looks something like this, and once you have that, you can basically add whatever the fuck you want on top of it. And boom, that's how you draw a head. We started with that, end up with that. If you want to add like some neck details and stuff, that is up to you. Just do whatever the fuck you want. The main thing is, this is how you construct it, and whatever you put on top of it is completely up to you. That is you as an artist adding your own little flair to it. Constructing it is just understanding. That is all. Can make it look pretty later, so do not put any extra value onto your guidelines. They're just there to get the idea across. And that's the basics on how to draw heads. If that's not enough for you, then here's some extra tips for you. Tip 1. How to draw heads from any angle. So it's pretty straightforward drawing heads in a front and side view, but you're definitely going to find it challenging when you try to draw them from other angles. An easy way to make sure you construct it from any angle is to draw a plane in front of the face. Think of the circle as a sphere and just imagine wrapping a piece of paper around the front of the face. That should make it easier for you to understand how to map out the face from an angle even if you haven't drawn it before. And if you're still struggling, then try to find a reference as close as possible to the angle of the head that you're trying to draw. Tip 2. Female proportions. The method for drawing female faces is the exact same as drawing males. All you gotta do is make the facial features a bit softer. What I like to do is draw the jawline a bit rounder instead of harsh, and I'd round out the chin a bit more. Also, the jawline usually isn't as long as the males. The rest is just stylization. Bigger eyes, puffier lips, eyelashes, etc. Whatever you feel would make the character look a bit more feminine, that's what you're going for. Tip 3. Hair. I can't confidently give you a way to draw hair since I don't really know how to properly construct it myself, but what I usually do is think of hair as its own shape and try to refine that shape. It's a good idea to think of hair in segments and try to layer them. My brain can't really comprehend layers, so I just draw a single big shape and work with it from there. Tip 4. The earlobe. This is a pretty niche one, but not a lot of people show you how to draw ears. But basically, all you want to do is get the overall shape down and then just add the curves. Use this reference the next time you want to draw ears. Tip 5. Find your own way. I feel like today a lot of people learn art struggle to find a method on how to draw things. Because usually they'll find one method, try to learn that, and then they're forced to learn a method they hate. I think it's important to find your own way of doing it. My method is a slightly altered version of the Loomis method, so if that doesn't work for you, you can just take what stuck with you in this tutorial and just incorporate it into your own work. If you don't like the way I draw noses or the way I draw eyes, then you don't have to draw them like that. Just find an artist you admire and try to figure out how they draw those things. Your art is just an amalgamation of everything you love, so draw whatever you want, man. You're the artist. Just keep making cool shit. I believe in you. Find your one way. And that brings this video to an end. If this helped you out, then maybe you'll like my video where I teach you how to draw poses. It should be on the screen right now. It would mean a lot to me if you check that one out. I'll be doing a couple more videos on anatomy if you guys are struggling with that, so stay tuned. Peace.